So there's this game. It's called Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And it's got this cool mode that you all might know about called Discovery? Or wait, Exploration? I honestly don't remember anymore. Discovery Tour.
Discovery Tour.
And we're going to play that.
With only one mic and a camera duct taped to a wall.
Everything's great.
Uh-huh.
Unless we're looping, in which case, no.
Are we looping? Yay! Oh, let's play this damn game.
Are we looping? Are we looping? Are we looping? Sorry, I couldn't help it. Alright, let's play. So last time, on Dragon Ball Z, Goku was still powering up because they were waiting for the next issue of the manga to come out. I don't have any funny things to say anymore.
Okay. Alright, so let's get this started then.
How's your day been?
It's checking for additional content, so it doesn't matter.
How's your day been? Pretty good, right?
Let's see. I killed a bunch of wasps. Actual bugs, not...
but white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
No. None of those. Just actual wasps. I tried to donate blood and couldn't because my iron count is still too low.
Oh, didn't even know. Well, I guess I knew that was a thing.
Yeah, my hemocrit, I guess is what they call it. I don't know. Is 35 and it needs to be 38, I think. I don't know what any of that means. I take iron pills. It's apparently not enough.
I'm generally not allowed to donate blood.
Why?
Because I had tuberculosis as a kid.
Oh my god, really?
I did.
Did you not get vaccinated? Isn't there a vaccine?
I don't think there was when I was a kid. If there is one, which I'm not even sure, I'm pretty sure that's somewhat recent.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Interesting. We should go into like a history of vaccinations and everything one day, but I don't.
That will definitely go over well on the internet.
Yeah. So have you heard about Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Well, I haven't heard much. I heard that it's Viking-ish.
Yeah.
And that it's coming out sometime. Epic Games Launcher keeps trying to get me to pre-order it, and I won't.
Yeah, I know nothing about Vikings, so I was debating getting one of our friends who knows stuff about Vikings.
Do you know
Starts
such a
with
person?
K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so
Wouldn't
fun.
that be fun?
Yes.
So
I mean, I feel like some of his facts might just end up being made up, but...
Yeah. But you never know.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So it could be fun.
Guest stars.
So we'll see. I don't know if I feel like getting Valhalla, or if Jason feels like getting Valhalla.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, or we try to learn as much as possible before each stream and then get it all wrong.
And then get it all wrong? Yeah.
So most of my Norse mythology comes from a Korean MMO called Ragnarok Online, and it's completely wrong, but it uses lots of the names from Norse mythology.
All I know is from Marvel.
Oh. I hear that that's mostly accurate.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I know nothing about Norse, sadly. It'd be nice to do some, like, comparative mythology with all of that, but, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, my role in this would be explaining anytime we run into a character's name that I recognize, what that character is in Ragnarok Online. Which would not... I would definitely read a book or two about Norse myth, because it keeps me from reading for my dissertation, which is great.
No, you want to graduate.
No, I'm basically, like, I keep up with, like, new articles that come out, but I'm pretty much done with, like, the intensive, like, background research.
Now that is making a lot of noise.
And we're almost in. Hey!
Hey, good job, Assassin's Creed.
We're here.
Hold on, I'm gonna, like, fix the... I'll take these books away from it.
So this, here, is a horse.
You know what the Greek word for horse is?
No.
Hippos.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the Greek word for hippos?
Actually, hippopotamus means river horse.
Oh, right. I knew that at one point in my life. Man, no, that was a dumb question now.
No, you're fine. I feel like the camera angle is totally off right now.
Yeah.
Whatever. Because you can see my carpet. But whatever.
Oh, well. All right. So, we've been typically letting people vote.
Oh,
so
yeah. Let's do
we
that.
still have all 5 options available, although we're running low on art, religion, and myths. So I guess with our, there we go, our weird voting system where only the first vote matters.
Yep. First vote. Politics it is. So do we do Sparta social classes? Ooh. Or completely different, philosophy.
So, by politics and philosophy, they mean mostly politics and a little bit of philosophy.
Yeah. Aw, dang it. Philosophy.
Well, no. Politics was typed first. And
But
then Sparta.
She
you
already
can't vote twice?
Yeah, no. You pick one category, and then the next person can pick the...
You know what? Never mind. This is going to be too negative for this stream. I was going to say, what if we just use this voting system for the November elections, too?
Oh.
You get to vote once, and once you vote for one thing, none of your votes
It's
matter.
over. Who decided these rules?
I'm pretty sure they just evolved naturally. Like no one thought of them. These are discoveries we made in nature. That this is how voting should work. Philosophy. Thunderdome rules.
Thunderdome.
You know what you do? Once you get to monetize, you let people spend bits to vote for things.
Oh,
and the highest
there
bits
you
wins.
go.
Except that feels very exploitative.
Well, I can't monetize until I have 50 followers.
Yeah, so we're close.
And I have
no idea how many you have.
26 right now. So if you are watching this and you haven't hit the follow button, it has like a little heart. It's right below this. You should follow so that,
So that
I can
Deb
eventually
can get money.
monetize this. Please. I have student debt to pay.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. You get one free vote, and you have to buy more votes if you want to unduly influence our election. Our choice of...
Are we Russia now?
No, they would be.
Oh, okay.
The viewers.
Oh, I see.
All right.
I like that. All right, so...
Only 6 stations? Wow.
I'm okay with that. Philosophy is not my strong suit.
I mean, mine neither. And I often end up teasing philosophy majors when they come to psych classes.
Okay, so here's like the big philosophy thing. There's basically a division that starts because of a guy named Socrates.
Oh, I've heard of him.
And guess what? The people who were using philosophy before Socrates or practicing philosophy before Socrates were called.
The way you asked it makes it feel like this should be very obvious to me, and I have no idea.
The pre-Socratics.
Oh. Well, that's not very creative.
Nope. No, it's not. But, it works.
Okay.
It works. It's fair enough, I guess.
No.
So it's the pre-Socratics, and most of them were focused on the sciences, natural world, trying to explain things without, the gods, basically.
Oh.
So, just make stuff up and be confident about it.
Yeah, that's called declaring a philosophy major.
Yeah.
Oh, burn.
Or just my life in general.
Yeah, but you know lots of facts, so you can get away with it.
I don't know. Again, if you act confident enough.
Welcome to the Gymnasium of the Philosophers, one of the many places where philosophers can
Wait, I can't hear it.
enrich the mind and enlighten the soul.
Can you hear her?
Mm-hmm.
All I hear is music.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's very weird. If you want, I can voice act her role, but that'll annoy the people watching the
All I
actual
hear is
stream.
music.
Well, she's not talking.
There is no better
Oh, there. Wow.
than in a quiet place, far
Like-
away from the commotion of the city.
Is it low enough that the dialogue should be turned up?
Hold on. I can do that. Okay. now
Speaking of voice acting, this is totally off topic, but we do this all the time anyway, so it doesn't matter. One of my favorite games online, Guild Wars 2, released a little mini update where they release new story content. They do this every 3 to 6 months, and they released this most recent one without any voice acting because of COVID. They couldn't get people in studios to record.
Oh my
And so
God.
it's all just text. And I was debating going through and
Ooh.
sarcastically voice acting all the parts and releasing YouTube videos of it, but I'm pretty sure they would yell at me.
man. Okay, so
So-
let's see if you guys can hear this now.
Or if it's too loud because we turned it all the way
Yeah.
up.
Education held a very important place in Greek society. The most prominent educators were philosophers, whose teachings ranged from
Better?
everyday rituals to the makeup of the universe. Once your tour is complete, come find me, and we can discuss what you've learned. Farewell for now, wanderer.
But also, yes, I was just reading about that the other day.
People are getting hate mail?
The woman who did the voice acting for one of the characters in that game that Jason's playing, the one that I watched with you guys, what's it called? Last of Us 2?
Oh,
Has been getting death threats.
Are you kidding me? Ellie?
Abby.
Oh,
I haven't played the game,
one
so I
that
don't know.
may be transgender, but no one's telling us.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to give
No.
spoilers for the game. Yeah, I know nothing about the game other than the 2 hours I watched with you guys. But yeah, I was reading an article that she's been getting death threats, which is absurd.
So Jason finished that game.
You don't
How
need to
about
climb up here now.
now?
You can.
Are we alive? Can you hear us?
No.
Yes.
Yay. Man, this curse is... Shut. Yeah, okay.
This curse is streamed.
This curse is streamed.
Alright.
Francis, I forgot to say happy birthday.
It's my birthday.
It's Francis's birthday, everyone. Everyone should say happy birthday to Francis in the chat.
That is... Well, sure. Maybe that'll get you 5 people chatting at once.
It
Oh, this
already- I
cat
already
really
got
wants
that
to get
last
on.
time.
Oh, did you?
Oh, that's Callie. She's kind of a pain in the butt.
It is my birthday. I am 1 year older than I was this day last year.
This is
And
true.
1 day older than I was this time yesterday.
I guess technically we're always 1 day older than we were yesterday.
That's my favorite, list of, really terrible superpowers is the ability to move through time. Travel forward through time at a rate of 1 second per second. Oh,
Philosophy
we're starting.
comes from the Greek word philosophia,
Philosophia,
or
which
love
means
of wisdom.
love of wisdom.
This concept was in direct contrast with philochromatia, love of money, and
Oh.
philotemia, love of honor. As of the
Philochromatia.
second half of the 5th century BCE, Athens was known as Greece's capital of philosophy.
Hi.
Due to the rise of democracy, there was an increasing need for education
Hello.
beyond the basic subjects of elementary school. Athenian citizens needed to be able to participate in various functions of the democratic state, such as being elected for office, proposing new laws, engaging in military decisions, or simply defending their rights.
I'm not learning anything from this because I'm just paying attention to the cat
Yeah,
crawling
what?
across me.
There's a cat. Sorry, cat.
The internet loves cats. This is fine. This might actually get you more followers.
Oh, maybe. Daisy, get down.
All right, so what I remember from that was there were 3 Greek words that all began with philo.
Yep.
I don't remember the ends of any of them.
Yeah, well, philo means love.
Right.
And sophos means wisdom. So philosophia means love of wisdom. What is wrong with her? She's usually not this affectionate. Sorry guys. Again, this stream is cursed, or this
Okay,
curse
that's
is
my coffee,
streamed.
though. You gotta get away from that.
I don't remember what else it was saying.
Okay, I'll just go to the next one.
But
And we'll get everything wrong on the quiz.
for, in general, the philosophy starts, with this idea of, love of wisdom, but it's more like knowledge of just how the world works. Rather than, oh my god, Callie. Rather than, let's talk about the thought of talking.
Huh.
Oh, she's licking my foot. Okay. I mean, if we want the dog is here too, so. Did you spray yourself with catnip or something before you came here?
Well, I take catnip recreationally.
Oh,
not medicinally.
Okay. So, yes. There are, in Athens, 2, eventually, schools of philosophy. Later on, after Socrates.
Mm-hmm.
So Socrates has his whole deal, and then Plato founds a school, and then Aristotle founds a school. Plato founds his... It's called the Academy, and actually that area is still called the Academy. And it's named after a local god in the area.
Okay, maybe don't eat the microphone, Kelly. This is even better than when we tried to stream with the cats. What was that?
Oh,
Cats and
coffee cats
coffee
and
cats.
deadly premonitions?
Yes.
Don't eat my mic. Stop eating my mic.
Guys, we're learning so much. Not about Greece at the moment, but about how awkward I am around cats.
This cat managed to flip over all of the water bowls in our house last night at some point because I found water and the bowls were all upside down.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, let's learn more about philosophy.
Yeah.
But the other one,
Ow!
That was what I was worried she was going to do to me.
was in
Sophists and philosophers taught either in private homes or in public spaces
know it.
like the theater.
There.
To recruit young pupils for long-term curricula, they also held classes in gymnasia, where young Athenians underwent physical training.
Oh, right.
The
We talked about this last
Sardes
time.
was a sanctuary to Heracles, located in the south suburb of Athens. At the beginning of the 4th century BCE, Antisthenes used this sanctuary as a teaching spot for his school of philosophy, the aptly named Cynicism.
Kinos means dog, actually.
Huh.
Because that area was named after, it was like Dog Tooth or whatever. Dog something was the area.
Dog tooth.
Dog something was the area. And so he gets named after that.
Huh.
Just like Aristotle's school of philosophy is called the Lyceum, which means like the wolf's area, because that neighborhood was called, it was near Mount Lycabettos, which is the wolf's hill.
I wanted to mock that at first, but it's like they're naming these schools after
Yeah,
like what they're near.
the location
And
that they
guess where
their
we
neighborhood.
both work.
Yeah,
The University of
Yeah.
a location.
of a location.
Huh.
So, why are you being so weird today? Such a cute kitten.
Any free citizen was allowed to involve themselves in the Athenian democratic process. However, to truly influence the flow of politics, their speech and rhetoric skills had to be impeccable. As a result, many sophists taught subjects like logic, reason, and eloquence. These were meant to help students achieve
I've
Arete.
heard that term.
or
Or
excellence.
excellence.
But this specific concept of excellence was often challenged, especially by other philosophers. For example, Plato, Socrates, and Isocrates preferred a more moral approach and argued that rhetoric should be used as a means to serve the greater good. Socrates
Not
and
to
Plato
convince.
went even further, declaring that philosophy and wisdom were not only useful tools, but also ethical virtues.
Huh.
So, yeah, you have all these divisions, basically, especially around when Socrates is teaching. Because Socrates believes that you should always, like, examine your life and question why you do the things you do and why you're taught the things you're taught and why the world works the way it does and why politics are this way. You should always question things, basically, right?
Sure.
But there is this group of people called the Sophists, which means, like, the wise people,
Right.
And they would be like tutors, basically. They're not philosophers.
Okay.
But they're tutors, basically, that teach people how to defend themselves in court or speak at, assembly meetings or just practice good rhetoric in general.
Sure.
Because that was like the sign that you were a member of the community, is if you could participate in politics. So you would send your kid to go off and, or you would have a tutor come and teach them how to be good at speaking in rhetoric.
Sure.
So this eventually gets to the point where it's kind of like lawyering, where you're like, oh, you're just like gonna talk your way out of this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so it becomes to that point where it's like basically some people don't like sophists because they're just teaching people how to get out of stuff. And so there's actually a play by Aristophanes called The Clouds.
I don't remember anything about that one, but I've heard the name.
Well, and in that, he has Socrates as a sophist, and Socrates is not a sophist.
As like a joke or like...
Maybe as a joke. The thing is that Socrates doesn't take money for his teachings.
Well, I guess I mean, like, was he doing this intentionally to, like, poke at Socrates?
Maybe. It does seem like... I mean, Socrates was the most well-known philosopher, and so it was kind of like, okay, well, let's just, like, put him under this
Oh, okay.
big name.
Sure.
But yeah. So Socrates is in that, even though he shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a sophist. And in that, there's a line in the clouds about how, like, Socrates says, like, oh, I'll teach you how to make the weaker argument the stronger.
Okay.
Right? So the weaker argument, I'll teach you how to, like, you know,
Right.
BS and make it sound like it's the good argument and the one that's logical. Right?
Wasn't he, like, kind of... Am I mistaken?
Like, he's against that.
Against that? Okay,
yeah, he's against that. So, but Aristophanes made him look that way. So then, later, he gets put on trial in 399.
Socrates?
Socrates
Okay.
does, yeah. In 399 BC, he gets put on trial.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, he says, according to Plato's apology, I don't think this is in Xenophon's
Sure.
version, but in Plato's version, he says, like, I'm being charged with making the weaker argument stronger. That's not an offense, nor is that, like, something. But it makes it sound like Aristophanes, therefore, influenced
Oh, he
this
propaganded
trial.
him.
Yeah, and so this trial, like...
Huh.
And then Socrates has to commit suicide because
Right.
of the end of this trial. Because of the end of the trial. Spoiler!
Well, wasn't it suicide or exile?
Yeah, he could have gone into exile.
Okay. I was just making sure I
But-
remembered that correctly.
He didn't want to.
Right. I just making sure that wasn't someone else that I was thinking.
No, it was him. Could have.
Hmm.
Didn't. That is cool. I didn't know the Lego movie. Wait, it has a cloud cuckoo. Oh. I need to watch that again. It's
I've
been a
never
while.
seen the Lego movie.
It's
Ancient
funny.
Greek philosophy was multidisciplinary in nature. In addition to wisdom and logic, philosophers also studied and taught math, geometry, music theory, and even medicine.
Isn't this
For
just called
example, the
teaching?
philosopher
Yep.
Prodicus wrote a treatise called On Human Nature, where he outlined various explanations on human physiology.
Ooh.
Philosophy's influence was also great enough to affect medicine. Hippocratic physicians were known to incorporate philosophical ideas into their work, and the treatise On Airs seems to be influenced by pre-Socratic theories on air being the first principle of the universe.
Yeah, so, like, the pre-Socratics are very focused on just learning how the world works.
Right.
So,
is
and
cool.
then eventually it turns into, guys, what if we don't talk about how the world works, but we talk about how we think the world works?
Okay.
And then that turns into, like, what we think of as modern day philosophy.
Sure.
Like ethics
Yeah.
and morals and all of that. And so now it's separated. But before, it was like, well, we have limited knowledge on biology and chemistry and physics and all these things. So it's all under
Right.
the
Just-
love of wisdom.
Yeah.
But now we separate it, and
Can you
philosophy
imagine
is
if-
more this idea of ethics.
Can you imagine if majoring in philosophy still meant just like learning all you can
Everything?
about the world?
Yeah, right?
It'd be the hardest major
Oh
out
my
there.
god. Oh god. Do you really want me to talk about the Wandering Womb? Have I told you about the Wandering Womb?
Not that I recall.
If we're gonna talk about medicine,
Mm-hmm.
so
Wait, this is philosophy.
I know. Well, they just mentioned
Yeah.
medicine because it did have an influence on it. Hippocrates and others believed that a woman, when she started menstruating,
Mm-hmm.
would need to have regular sex
Okay.
in order to prevent it grounds her womb. It keeps her connected.
Oh wait. Like they literally
Otherwise,
said
she'll
you
go
could, like-
crazy.
Right.
So a wandering womb
Mm-hmm.
is it's the little word for it is hysteros,
Mm-hmm.
hysteria.
I haven't heard that part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't
so-
realize that was why they came up with that idea.
Yeah, it has to do with like, oh, you're being too like crazy woman like. So anyone who is hysterical is having problems with their uterus,
Huh.
if you want to go that way.
Interesting.
But that's why as soon as a woman has her first period, she needs to get married
Oh.
and have regular intercourse as regularly as possible to prevent her from going insane.
And we don't think that they just made this up with like
So that they
ulterior
could have
motives?
sex?
Yeah.
No, why would they do that?
Well, yeah, they're
That would be
philosophers.
mean.
Man. Explanations for like that one's obviously a little out there, but like old Greek explanations for like how parts of the body worked were hilarious.
Yeah.
And some of them were close, but like
But
I
others
talked
are,
already
like-
about how like I forget which Greek philosopher thought that the brain was just the cooling unit for the body.
Oh, yeah. And that the liver was the seat of wisdom or emotion or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Craziness. It's kind of fun. We do teach ancient medicine at the University of Iowa. I don't teach it because that's way too complicated of a topic
because
for
I
me.
would get all the facts wrong.
But we're bringing in a new lecture, or a new postdoc. No, what is it? VAP. Visiting Assistant Professor. To teach it
That's
this
kind of cool.
semester. Yeah. Yeah, especially with all the other stuff going on in this world, we're managing to bring in
Let's learn about
someone new.
ancient medicine.
Who also went to Florida State. So,
Florida.
well, we need to get as many
The
people,
strange
smart people out of
philosopher
Florida as we can.
Socrates
That's true.
Had an ambiguous relationship.
Allison,
with
you need to
sophists.
leave.
In Plato's dialogues, Socrates is portrayed as being in constant opposition with the famous sophists of his time. Aristophanes' comedy, The Clouds,
look at that.
meanwhile, depicts Socrates as a sophist himself, constantly demanding payment for his teachings.
Which he didn't do.
Socrates was in fact very poor and made no money
know
off his
if-
teachings.
He
He
wasn't...
also differed from the sophists in that while they only taught aristocratic youths, Socrates taught everyone, regardless of station. Unfortunately, his controversial ideas and practices did not sit well with the city of Athens, and he was eventually tried for impiety.
Feels like there's a lot to correct there, maybe.
Well, okay, so I don't... He wasn't... It wasn't that he was...
This lady doesn't know how to say something.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he was poor,
Okay.
because I really don't feel like he would have been able to hang out with as influential and wealthy people as he did if he was poor.
Sure.
But he didn't he didn't really wear shoes that often.
Oh yeah,
He
they showed him
didn't-
with no shoes there.
Yeah, he rarely wore shoes, even in the winter.
Is he one of the... No, I
He
don't wanna judge
rarely
anyone too much,
wore like a heavy anything more than a light chiton, a light like that what that character's wearing.
but sure.
He rarely wore anything heavier than that. So even in the winter, like, he didn't care.
Did you just get cold?
But he still had a house, he still had a wife, he still had like stuff.
I
mean, yeah. I wouldn't say that he was poor.
so it's not so much... You're not saying that he was rich. You're just saying he wasn't, like, dirt poor.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't dirt poor.
Hello, cat. The cat's back,
Cat's
everyone.
back.
And now we stop learning and focus on the cat.
On the cat. She's so pretty. That's why her name is Callisto. Yes,
claw me,
that's why
cat.
her name is Callisto. Owie, owie.
Did he not like his wife?
He did not. Yeah, what did he say about his wife? He said, like, marry a good wife. If you marry a bad wife or something, you'll become a philosopher. Something like that.
Oh, because he's a philosopher.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and it's something like that. And so there's a really funny like meme out there that's like, "Damn, Socrates, your wife must have been pissed at you." Socrates, what is the quote? Wife.
Oh, you're pulling. But also
Yeah, his
scaring me
wife's
that you're
name
going to
was
bite this wire.
Xanthippe, I believe.
Was what?
Xanthippe.
Xanthippe?
Mm-hmm.
What? Wait. That
By
sounds
all
very
means,
unusual.
marry. If you get a good wife, you'll be happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. So, if I was Xanthippe, I'd be very pissed off.
Maybe you just didn't tell her that part. This cat's going to murder me.
Watch. There she I like that this is on a delay so that we can see you do stupid stuff, cat.
All right, I'm going to try to listen to this one. We'll
Philosophy
see.
was not only a collection of ideas, but a way of life. According to philosopher Pierre Hadot, his ancient counterparts had a daily regime of spiritual exercises to combat their passions, doubts, and illusory beliefs. These exercises included meditation on death,
Wow.
contemplation of nature, or speaking with a friend or mentor. Philosophers also followed specific dress codes and diets.
Huh.
They were also part of a community of masters and students. These communities were created and strengthened in schools. Plato founded such a school in the early 4th century BCE.
Called the
when
Academy.
He purchased a property in a grove just outside of Athens. The school
In the
was
grove of
designed to
Academy,
turn
yes.
students into philosopher citizens who could eventually rule the city in a measured and fair manner. It followed its own rules and was open to both male and female disciples.
Oh. That sounds like it was kind of unique, right?
Yeah, a lot of schools were male only, and
Right.
yeah. But Let's see. Which ones were the one... What was Hypatia in? Hypatia was a...
I have no information.
Starts with an E. Why can't I remember it? Help me out, guys. I really, really suck at philosophy. I keep wanting to say euhemerist, and I know that's not right. Epicurean, thank you. Yeah. No, she was an Epicurean, and that was much more open to lots of different classes.
Huh.
And gender. The two genders as well. Did she just bite you?
Lightly. Why?
Callie, stop. Don't be mean. We'll feed you to Daisy.
Go hang out with Deb.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Goodbye, cat.
There you go. Right.
Cats
Yeah.
don't ever like me very much.
So, Epicureans. But yeah, so there's all these different schools. Plato, Aristotle, but then there's also like the Cynics, right? Cynicism.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we've got the Stoics, because
Yep.
they hung out in stoas.
Really?
That's why they're named the Stoics.
Okay.
Because they hung out in stoas. Let's see, Epicureans are named after Epicurus, their founder.
Sure. I mean, that one, like, it's hard to blame them for naming after a founder, I guess.
Yeah.
But the fact that you hang out somewhere, giving that your name.
Yeah, because they would hang out in... What basically, I mean, they're not like strip malls, but they're just covered... Well, I mean, they're covered, they're patio. They're like covered hallways, basically, and some of them could have stores and shops in the back. Some of them could have artwork and museums, almost. Some could be political, and were political areas and had different, like, political offices would hang out there. People with different political offices would hang out there.
Huh.
So they were a wide use, but because it was so hot, you want to, like, get covered up from the sun, and so you hang out in the
I feel like the fact that they had so many uses makes it even lamer to name your, like, brand of philosophy after it.
Yeah. Sadly.
But I
Is
can't
it time
judge.
for a
I don't have a brand of
quiz?
philosophy on my own, so... yes.
What's wrong with your name?
I'm almost certainly going to get these wrong, because I don't remember half of what
I
she
can
said.
tell by the crease in your brow
at
that
that.
you're already
Isn't that weird?
puzzling over the new things.
That's a
you've
normal
learned.
nail. What's wrong with this one?
Don't be embarrassed.
I don't have any nails.
What's
Well,
with you,
among
Rock
us
Cat?
need to ask questions before they search for answers.
It's a weird
Is there
nail.
anything else you'd like to do?
Let's talk
yeah,
to your dad
I want
about
to take
that.
a quiz.
Oh my gosh, I still can't hear the... Okay.
You wish to test your wisdom?
Sophos.
Very well. Let's see how you compare to the great philosophers. The first question is an easy one. What does philosophia
Yeah, she
mean?
wasn't kidding.
Correct. Philosophia
We did it.
referred to the
Yay!
love of wisdom. Time for the next question. The Kinosaries was a sanctuary dedicated to which Greek hero?
Uh-oh. I genuinely don't remember her even talking
we
about this.
didn't... I mean,
I feel like it's one of these
if
two.
it's near... It's not Perseus. It's either Heracles or Theseus. I'm gonna go with Theseus because we're in Athens.
Theseus was a legendary Greek hero whose
Nope,
achievements
it's
include
not him.
such amazing feats as slaying the Minotaur. But the Kinosaries was not one of his
Heracles?
sanctuaries. Try a different answer.
Genuinely don't remember this being mentioned, but I think that might
I
have been the
don't
first time the
remember it
cat
either.
climbed up on me.
And I can't for the life of me think of it.
It was
Yay.
the mighty Heracles. Now, for the last question.
I mean, most things have to do with
Which
Heracles.
play by Aristophanes
Ooh.
portrayed Socrates as a sophist?
The clowns. The wasps.
That's actually a play.
Yeah, I can remember you mentioning it.
And the birds
Last
and the
week,
frogs.
we were
Those are
talking
all
about
all
wasps.
Aristophanic plays.
I didn't think I knew about the birds.
The birds
remember
is
the
really
frogs.
fun, actually, because the chorus is all birds and people like the actors are dressed as birds. I saw
Wait.
it performed at FSU. Actually, it was really fun.
Huh.
Yes, the cloud
So they're all
was
like
a
different.
comedy.
Jade would
Birds.
hate that because she's scared of birds.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Greedy sophist. Plato even believed that this caricature contributed to his mentor's eventual trial and execution. Well done, wanderer. Even Socrates would be impressed by the depths of your wisdom.
Oh,
I feel like that might be generous.
feel
We
like-
answered 3
yeah.
questions, and they were multiple choice.
Yep.
And we got one wrong.
Yep.
All right. So, are we voting or random touring?
I think we're randoming, yes? Is that okay with everyone? Randoming?
Wait, we could let them vote on whether we vote or random. Type quickly. Random.
Random it is.
I'd
You
love
just
to.
voted.
Please, come with me.
Just gonna sit here and pet this cat while we do this.
Yes, I agree. I'm not sure wisdom is memorizing 5 to 6 facts.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, here she comes. Oh my god!
Why,
Ellie.
cat?
Why are you so mean? She's so mean.
Yeah, jump down.
You
Or
can push her down. It's fine. You can push her down.
I don't want to push her down. I'll feel
No,
bad.
Just push her down.
Oh, she's playing with this thing on the other
Oh.
side. I've got like little zipper pockets on the side of my pants.
Your zipper tie things.
And I'm really nervous she's going to get overenthusiastic and claw
she
me.
is going
But
to, yeah.
oh, she's just biting it for now. That's fine. All right,
I actually
where
have
are
a
we?
pair of pants that has strings at the knees. They're capri pants.
Mm-hmm.
And they have strings at the knees. It's the worst thing to have when you have 3 cats in your house.
Deb, where are we?
Lavrio. Ooh, we're going to
I don't
learn
know what
about
that is.
mining and silver.
Oh,
We're probably going to learn about
Okay.
coins and coinage. Lavrion is on the south end of Attica, which is the area
thank you.
that
Sorry.
Athens is in charge of.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of mountains there, and there was very rich silver veins in that area. So, and Athens happened to find those silver veins during the Peloponnesian War when they needed money the most. So, it worked out. We may need an animal babysitter one day if we ever go anywhere. We never go anywhere anymore. COVID.
Well, yeah. No, well, some people do, but most people.
Actually, in August we might be going somewhere.
Oh, that'd be fun.
My mom's birthday. I won't say what year. She would not be happy about it. Not that she watches, but if she did watch, she would not be happy about it.
The mine today.
The mine today? Today?
Oh, I think. Hold on. How do I?
Oh, you can see what it looks like today. Oh yeah, that is Lavrio.
That's kind of cool.
Yes. It's Thoricos. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Thoricos is also in Attica, and it does have, like, a whole settling basin and everything so that you can, like, not pan for the metals, but, like, so that you can clean up the metals and everything.
Wait, like today?
Yeah, not today.
Oh, okay. I
but
thought you
it's
meant,
from
like, they had, like, a
antiquity.
tourist
So if
trap
you
type
walked,
thing.
like, through, you could, like, see, like, what the area was when they used to do it.
Okay.
But they don't do it there anymore.
I thought you meant like, you know, like those tourist trappy things that you can do like out west.
Oh, yeah.
Where you
Like, pan for
gold.
gold.
I thought you meant that they had set that
That
up
would be
in
really
the old
fun.
sites.
Actually, I would be okay with that. I would be okay with that.
6 stations. Visit the silver mines.
Yeah. Lots
Welcome
of-
to the silver mines of
Gosh.
Lavrion.
What do you
What do
think
you
of
think of this place?
The mines make me nervous. All those fumes can't be safe to inhale day in
A
and
lot
day
of
out.
slaves died.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the mines in Lavrion were usually staffed by either slaves or very poor people. Athens owned its own set of slaves, and
Right.
a lot of them, if they, were of, if they were men that could haul stuff, they were put to the mines, and it was like one of the worst assignments that you could get as an ancient Greek.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
So, or as a slave. So, yeah, it sucked. And then, yeah, you had lots of, like, cave-ins and things as well, and, like, really cramped positions.
Yeah.
It's
Huh.
just not good.
Well,
The Lavrion silver mines were discovered between Thorikos and Cape Sunion, near Athens. They were rich in the mineral galena and provided Athens with much of the silver necessary to mint its currency. Because of this, the mines were invaluable to the city, and the resources they provided helped turn Athens into one of the most powerful states in Greece. We will meet again after you've seen what the mines have to
Ah,
offer.
she's not coming into the
Farewell
mines with
for
us.
now.
She did not want to come into those mines. So you actually can see a lot of the mines even today if you want to.
Huh.
But it's
Like-
yeah, you can't go deep.
Oh, okay.
No. But you can see like a lot of the area. It's pretty insane.
Huh. I don't... Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the inside of any mine. Whatever.
I'm trying to think.
Like, in real life, I mean. Obviously, like,
Yeah.
I've seen pictures.
I've been to like mines like Greece, but not in the States, I don't feel like.
I mean, I can't imagine they're a popular
Yeah.
site to just tour randomly.
A lot of the things that the Athenians used to spend their money on, because basically, you know, you find silver, just mint it, make it into coins, and now you can, you know, do stuff with it.
Yeah.
Well, like modern stuff. They would buy wood, actually, because wood was not terribly
Oops.
common,
Silver
like
mines
good
Trying to
wood.
run at that stack of wood. Sorry.
You're fine.
Ancient Greece, which only
Really,
increased
wood.
their importance. Athens started exploiting the Lavrian silver mines
So they could
at the
build
end of the
ships.
6th century BCE
Ah.
and used its metal to produce its currency. Production at the mines exploded around 485 BCE.
Not literally.
When an especially
That's not what
rich
you wanna hear.
vein was discovered. The mine's abundant silver made Athens one of the wealthiest cities in Greece. They also provided the resources necessary
Oh.
to build a fleet large enough to defeat the Persians at the Battle of Salamis. In short, the Lavrian mines played an integral part in the emergence of Athens as a Greek superpower.
That's kind of cool.
Wood for ships. Wood for ships.
So I think you were starting to say this before I accidentally ran into that point. Was wood really that rare that they had to buy it?
So, yeah, you need, like...
I have no idea how making boats works.
No, but you need, like, good strong wood. And olive wood was really all they had, and that grows very slowly.
Oh my
So
God,
it's
just
not
get
good
down.
to, like, use olive wood to make ships out of.
Okay.
So what you want is good hardwood, and that comes from the north. So, and even Greece today, like, if you go to Greece today, you don't have a lot of forests. And what you do have, it tends to get burned up in the summer because it's so,
Oh, 'cause it's so dry,
and
yeah.
everything. So you usually get a lot of scrub, and then what isn't, like, good there,
Huh.
you know, you'll use as farming land.
I guess I've always... I don't know if Iowa qualify. Well, we've got that street. But, like,
We got trees.
where I'm from in Ohio, like, it's just hard to imagine places that don't have
Yeah.
a billion trees.
Yeah, no,
around.
but if you go to Greece, it's like, it feels like California,
Ah,
basically.
okay.
That's
a comparison I
I've
can
only been to
understand.
California once,
Oh, okay.
but every time that I go to Greece, everyone always says, like, oh, it feels like California here. Like, it looks like California.
Okay,
Because of, like,
that I can kind of
the
get.
hills and the scrubbiness and the lack of trees, apparently. I don't know.
Exploiting the mine's resources required a lot of labor. To meet this requirement and save on cost, Athens leased out mining concessions to its citizens, who had their slaves to do most of the work, alongside poor day laborers. In the 5th century BCE alone, there were anywhere from 10,000 to 30,000 people toiling in the mines of Lavrion.
Wow.
Together, the workers managed to produce an estimated 20 tons of silver per year.
Yeah, so,
So when they said 10 to 30,000, like at once?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a lot of people.
There are a lot of slaves in the area.
That's like,
It's like the worst work.
sorry, but just like putting that number into context for me, that'd be like if we had all the undergrads
Yeah.
work in a mine to fund their education.
Yeah,
That's a lot of people.
yeah. It is a lot of people. Yeah, I always think of that too, in like terms of like the university size.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's like 5 University of Iowas.
Right.
Or something. Like, it's a mind body. Ugh. I'm trying to think what else I know about mining. Maybe they'll talk about the smelting
Mining in
process.
Lavrion was a two-step process. First, the ore was extracted.
Wow, good
and
timing
then
on
it
calling
was
that.
refined. It took about 16 kilograms of raw ore to produce a single pure silver drachma of about 4 grams. Recovered artifacts from the mines provide some insight into the specifics of the mining process. Galleries were dug to follow the veins of ore. They were small and did not offer much space for the workers.
Yeah, this
They
is
were
like
also
these
hand
vast
cut,
caverns.
and it's believed that it took whole days to dig only a few centimeters. Once the galleries finally reached the veins, the ore was extracted and then crushed on mortar stone to prepare it for washing.
So, if I'm remembering the numbers that they just gave correctly, it was like 16 kilograms to produce 1 silver drachma
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what it
4
sounds like.
grams.
Yeah.
So it's like a 4,000
Yeah,
to
the
1
drachmas
ratio.
are only about that big.
But that's like a 4,000 to 1 ratio on like your return for your effort.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, we're not going any further?
And then, like, you know, the silver probably, once it left Athens, would be melted down and made into another city's coinage.
Right.
So it's like, yeah.
So, you were saying that obviously not this big. So
Yeah.
not only are you likely to die, you also get to be claustrophobic the whole time.
Yeah.
I would not have done well in these mines. I mean, obviously, many of these workers probably didn't do well in these mines either.
No.
But now it looks like we're leaving. Maybe now we talk about smelting?
Maybe, yeah. The whole, like, minting process in general is very, like, fascinating to me. Because you have the dye, the thing that it's cut from, the thing that you make the coin out of.
Oh.
It's called a dye.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Oh. I wasn't, like, contradicting. I just I didn't know that
I'm trying
term.
to think of what the name... I feel like it's a dye. But yeah, so you would have that was used to, like, once the metal, you know, you strike it
Sure.
to
Yeah, to, like,
make
imprint
both
or whatever.
sides and everything, yeah.
Tap and die. I don't know.
Mine workers used washeries to help clean rock from the ore. The washing process required a large supply of water, but Lavrion was an infamously dry region. To compensate, cisterns were built in the mining area to collect and conserve seasonal rainwater.
It's actually really cool.
Once enough water had accumulated, workers poured it into wooden troughs containing rock and ore. The water's flow separated the lighter grains of rock from the heavier ore, which was caught in depressions at the bottom of the trough. The newly cleaned ore was collected for refinement, and the water was redirected back into a tank to be reused later.
Oh, wow. That's clever.
Over and over and over and over.
Yeah, because I guess you don't really care how clean your water is if it's just
Yeah,
for
it's
cleaning
just
rocks.
For sorting, yeah.
I mean, that system is also pretty clever. Almost like
Yeah, you have
the...
settling tanks and everything.
What was the process called when they were like threshing and then throwing wheat? up
Oh,
in there?
winnowing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was cool too. Yeah, just like use gravity to do everything for you.
That's what I try. That's how I gained all my weight.
Wow. Fancy.
What?
Well, the like tapestries. Like,
Oh.
The unnecessarily fancy tapestries.
Yeah, that feels-
in this very dirty
Why would you
area
have
of
those there?
town. Whatever.
Oops. Sorry, sir. Oh,
Once
smelting?
the ore was clean and dry,
Yay.
it was ready for smelting. Its purpose was to isolate the silver in the ore.
Smelt
To
it.
do this, the ore was placed in a conical furnace filled with combustible charcoal. Bellows
What other
pumped
type of
air
charcoal
into
is
the
there?
furnace to control the temperature. Inside, the ore burned, emitting a toxic smoke that was evacuated through a chimney. Eventually, the silver
looking it
alloy
up?
was separated from the slag and collected for the last step in the refinement process, cupellation. Cupellation removed any leftover lead from the silver. The smelted alloy was placed in a cupel, an absorbent bowl made of bone ashes. It was then put in a furnace, where it absorbed the lead and left only silver behind.
It's so fascinating to think about like how they figured this out.
Sorry. I don't
Okay.
think there is non-combustible charcoal.
Maybe.
So wait, the question of isn't that how it's done today, were you talking about the cleaning?
I think the die casting
Oh.
and striking a die. But yeah, so you would pour it into the little molds.
Yeah, wait a
and
second. I want this
then-
picture bigger. That looks cool.
That does look really cool. That's very cool. Oh, archaeological experimentation.
You guys get to do experiments too?
Oh my god, experimental archaeology is so much fun.
Is it just like trying to recreate how things were done? That's
Yeah.
that
So,
actually
like,
sounds really
We
fun.
have exactly what, they need, or they had.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this thing.
Huh.
Like they did.
And see if it like produces what you find.
So I used to do pottery, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool.
And one of the parts of my dissertation was to figure out where the clay was coming from. So I actually walked through areas of Greece collecting clay samples. And then I didn't make anything out of it. It was going to be my next step. Like,
Right.
if I ever published my stuff, I was, like, going to do that, and I didn't. But I had a bunch of clay samples, and I was going to, like, test them for strengthness and everything.
Oh,
and
I had no idea that experimental archaeology was a thing. That sounds really fun.
Thing. It's very cool. I actually want to do a class in it, but it would require money and, like, funds and things. But you could make, like... So I took a class at the University of Evansville, my alma mater, that was ancient technology, and our final project was we either had to create a model of something, or we had to recreate something.
Oh, that's so cool.
So one of my friends made papyrus.
Oh, wow.
He, like, made it
Isn't that like a
himself.
kind of intense process?
It is and very smelly as well, because you have to, like, soak
Right.
the
Yeah, because I've read a
reeds
little bit
and
about
everything, and-
generic paper making stuff.
Yeah, it's very smelly. So, yeah. Yeah, it would be fun.
I have not seen Time Team, but that sounds like a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, there's also fund it to your Twitch channel. That would be fun. Raise like money that way.
Subscription goal. Let us make silver coins.
I feel like one of my friends also kind of has, actually, Dr. Habib's husband was talking about a class that he wanted to do, but he hadn't done yet. But it was going to be a freshman seminar, I think.
I bet you could loop the art department in on this somehow.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For like, not quite smelting level things, but...
One thing I wanted to do was do like a pottery, like an ancient pottery class, and we would like use both the geology department's resources and the art centers. Yeah, it would be fun.
Also, jumping back a little bit, I do actually think that cleaning in mining processes still works roughly like this, where you like loop it through water a bunch of times.
Okay.
But I have limited knowledge, but I feel like I've read that somewhere.
Well, I know like iron requires a lot of iron.
FSU has a smelter.
Of course they do.
I mean, I have no idea. We might have a smelter. I don't know.
That's why I took up pottery though, and like wheel throwing.
Wait, why?
Yeah, I used to throw.
No, wait. What's the reason?
To understand ancient techniques. So.
Wait, you used to throw?
I used to throw pottery. Yeah, that's when
Wait, is that what it's called?
Yeah, when
I
you're
thought you
on the
meant
wheel,
literally
ghost
just like
style.
Because I've thrown pottery.
No, not like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wheel throwing class. You're not throwing a wheel. Put the clay, throw it, because you want it centered.
The only pottery term I know is throw the hump, and I know that from a Community episode.
Off the hump.
Throw off the hump. Yeah.
To throw off the hump.
There's the episode where Jeff gets obsessed with the guy who's better at pottery.
I love that one.
It's literally the only thing I know.
No ghosting. You're not allowed to ghost.
Yes.
I love that episode.
Oh yeah, because that's Buster from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Are the kilns for smelting similar to pottery kilns?
Yes, in a way, but they're smaller, and they are, because you're not putting, like, much into it. The ore itself is, so you can actually, like, make a small one that's only this big, but still get a really high temperature. And the temperature's going to go higher than pottery.
Okay.
Actually. So that's why you want a smaller one, is to concentrate all that heat in a small place.
I make Community references whenever I can, and Arrested Development references. So that got both. Alright. Last station?
Yes. I guess.
While the mines of Lavrion belonged to Athens, the city frequently leased them to private citizens, who exploited the site for anywhere from 3 to 10 years.
Capitalism.
These citizens enlisted slaves and poor day laborers to carry out most of the work. The workers had a very low life expectancy, about 3 to 5 years.
Oh my God.
Due to the hazardous working conditions. The dangers they faced included toxic lead vapor in the air and lung-choking dust in the galleries. However, they were fed well enough to keep up their work, and their combined labor managed to produce an estimated 20 tons of silver a year.
You already told us that. That's not a good thing, though, that you, like, killed that many people for your money.
Like, the slaves, I get, they don't have a choice, right? But, man, imagine... Obviously, I'm not saying we shouldn't feel bad for the slaves. You do, because that's terrible.
Yeah.
But imagine what scenario you're in your Greek life as a free citizen who's like, this is my option that I need to take. That kind of sucks, too. 3 to 5 years. Oh, my God.
Like, yeah, life in ancient Greece, like, everyone always tries to romanticize it. It sucks.
Right.
Like, you can sell your kids into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
You leave your kids out on the hillside. Like, just the fact to make it to, like, 20 is a huge feat of accomplishment because there's just so many things against you.
Yeah. I mean, just some really rough math. That's like, at any given day, each person has like a 1 in like 1,400 chance of dying.
Oh my god.
Just averaging like 4 years
Ugh.
lifespan.
That's some fast math, my friend.
Which means with 30,000 people in there, you're losing a lot of people every day, statistically. Yeah. Wow. That's sad.
Who's romanticizing ancient Greece? I feel like this is it not? Mm.
I mean, I feel like I had a pretty romanticized view of ancient Greece until I started learning about it.
Yeah.
But that's just because of lack of knowledge. I don't think it was, like, intentional misleading. But, like, if you only hear, like, the mythology side of things and don't learn about the history, which I guess I did a little bit.
Who needs solar panels when you have children?
I hope you enjoyed your trip through
Yes,
the
it was
mines.
fun learning about all the
We
dead
talk so
people.
much of Athens' glory, but we often forget the city's power was due to tremendous amounts of work. Work that often had a great human cost. What else would you like to do?
This is non sequitur. Quiz.
Excellent. Let's begin. What was the last step in the silver refinement process?
What's the last thing we learned about?
Cupellation.
Oh, God, wait. Yeah, you're right. It would have to be.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, but I was about to say smelting, so I wasn't paying attention.
No, you're fine.
Leaving only the silver behind. Now, for the second question. How did workers acquire water for the ore washing process?
Do you remember?
Wait, they begged Poseidon for a well of infinite water? No, they clearly collected rainwater, but I want to see what she says when I guess this.
Yeah.
If they did beg Poseidon, their pleas fell on deaf ears because no such well existed. Try a different answer.
Wow, she sounded really disappointed at the end of that response.
Correct. The workers used cisterns to collect the seasonal rainwater. Now, the final question.
I thought that was
Which
a plane.
famous battle did the mines help Athens win?
Salamis.
Salamis.
Correct.
I know.
The Athenians used silver
But it looks like
fragments
salami.
to
Salami.
finance
I know I'm a
massive
vegetarian,
feast
but
for
that
the
sounds
Battle
really
of
good right now.
Salamis. It's clear your visit has taught you much. A job well done.
Good job.
We did it again.
Excellent work.
Another tour?
Yeah, we are actually doing pretty good. We're only an hour in.
Ah, that's shocking.
That
The
is
last
shocking.
2 streams, we got 2
Well, it's
tours
philosophy
in
and
about 2
smelting.
hours.
I don't yeah. I'm
Yeah, I
moving
haven't
fast today.
I haven't had many great jokes to make. I was gonna make a joke earlier when we learned. That was during the philosophy.
Well, it doesn't help that our stream took a while because technical difficulties.
We're only 17 minutes behind schedule.
Yeah, only.
Random tour, or do we vote? We're gonna vote on
Let's
random
vote
tour
on
or
whether or
order.
not we should vote.
Random or vote. Random or vote. Make Jason vote.
You would think that Jason would be ahead of everyone because he can hear us, but random.
Yay. Oh, Jason got in there just afterwards.
Gladly. Please.
Maybe he heard us
come with
talking.
me.
Purposely choose random. Oh, I like that.
Iceland, really?
Yeah, I was gonna
know.
say that sounds, I mean, possible, but crazy.
Yeah, possible. I wonder if Valhalla is going to have the Vikings travel to North America.
I mean, I know that happened, but I don't. I guess it depends. I don't know what the scope of the game would
Yeah,
be. Like
that's
that
true.
seems. I guess you would just skip the actual travel portion because that would be kind of
Maybe.
boring
That'd be
if you
really
had to
long.
spend a long time
I
sailing
don't know.
across the
People
ocean.
like the boating portion.
Do they? I don't.
You didn't like that in Black Flag? Did you play Black Flag?
I didn't play Black Flag. I
Black
thought you
Flag
meant
was
in
fun.
this game.
No.
Boating in
was
this game
similar to
is
Black
fine,
Flag.
but
This game was similar to Black Flag, but
I liked ramming boats into other boats. That was fun.
yeah. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, it was fun to watch Black Flag, and I didn't play it myself, but I just watched Jason play, and it
I
was
feel like
good.
I should play it.
It was solid.
Did we end up at the Sparta one anyway? After
Looks like Sparta.
this would be really funny if it randomly took us to the other option that we had for the last vote.
This is gonna be Sparta political classes.
There was a whale hunting minigame? Mm-hmm. I might have to get this game and try it out.
It's a pretty cool game.
Oh,
I felt bad. Ooh, Spartan Education! This will be fun.
did we do this one already?
This
No.
is the Agoge system. Did we do this one?
No, I don't think so. I just think I wanted to do it, and then we
And we did.
randomly chose one or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Huh. The what system?
Agoge.
Okay, they've mentioned that in some tour that
They
we've done.
have. I
Oh,
can't
probably
remember.
we did one about. Maybe they mentioned that women didn't get to go through it in the
Maybe.
women's daily life thing.
Or no, we were talking about the kings didn't have to go through it.
That was it, yeah.
It was politics. It was like Spartan politics or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the Agoge system is really fascinating,
Okay.
and they encourage stealing and
Wait, what?
starving the kids, basically, and like...
The starving the kids. I'm not saying I understand why, but
And
like I'd heard
murder and
about. But
killing and-
why stealing?
Because then you're very sneaky.
Oh.
So even when you got married, you wouldn't tell anyone.
Wait,
You
what?
would sneak into the bride's house and have sex with her, and then sneak back into your quarters. You all slept in the same area with
Wait.
your group.
Okay.
Your group, the dining system was... Oh, what was the dining system called? Why can't I think of it now? Your Cecilia is your dining hall group, your mess group, basically.
Sure.
So
Like your unit or something.
So yeah. So at the age of 7, you are taken out of your house, and if you're a boy,
Right.
and you go through the Agoge system.
And
You
how
are
long
put
does this
with
go?
other people. You are in that until you're 30.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, at the age of 7, you no longer live with your family
Huh.
anymore. You now are in this system.
Okay.
And it is publicly funded by the Spartans.
Right.
Your responsibility later on is to bring food to your Cecilia, your
Okay.
dining group.
Sure.
But that's because
Like,
you are a
by hunting
Spartan.
or stealing?
No, neither actually. It's from your farms that were worked by slaves.
Right.
So you didn't do any of that work.
Oh.
You just train all day, and then
Huh.
whatever the slaves, produced, you bring for everyone.
Okay.
It's a very terrible system.
I mean, yeah, but like most systems that are based on slavery are probably not great.
Yeah. So, and you wouldn't announce that, like,
23
you
years
were
you're just in this
married
group?
yet until, you were until the wife was pregnant.
Sure.
And only then was it like, okay, we're married now, everyone, FYI. But you still wouldn't live with your wife until you turned 30.
You just didn't tell people?
Just didn't tell people.
Did you get
until
in
she got
trouble if they
pregnant.
found out? Like, was the goal to try to keep this secret? Or was it just not a thing that they cared enough
No, it's
about?
just not a thing.
Okay.
I
I didn't know if it was, like,
because
part
if
of
she
their-
doesn't get pregnant, then you can you can have someone else have sex with your wife, so that
Okay.
she gets pregnant, and then you raise the kid as your own. Wife sharing. It's a
Okay.
big thing in Sparta, actually.
Is it
Your
just
wife
because they,
has to
like...
be okay with it.
Well, is it just because they, like, definitely needed to have kids because,
Yes.
they're probably getting murdered?
That, and just in general, like, so the Spartan classes, there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of different classes, and the highest class is the Spartiates.
Yeah.
And these are the people who descended from a group of people that came in, but
Sure.
were the best of those descendants.
Okay.
And they're called the Heraclidae, or the children of Heracles. They come in,
Oh, right, 'cause, like-
Dorians.
Because
and they come
Leonidas
in.
claimed that he
Yeah.
was a descendant of Heracles.
So
Right?
the best ones became the Spartiates.
Okay.
The lesser families became the Perioikoi, meaning the people that live around Sparta.
Okay.
And then the people that were enslaved were called the Helots.
Right.
And so the
Okay.
Helots outnumber the Spartiates something like 9-1.
Okay, because didn't you say, like, I don't know if it was a specific group, but like weren't some Spartans like allowed to just go murder helots?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You can murder helots. It's called
Any Spartan?
no, you have to be hired to do it. It's usually boys,
Right,
so that they
okay.
can train
That's what I
to be
thought. I thought you
murderers
said
and
that there was,
soldiers and
like-
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, there's all these rituals though. Like, there is a festival to Artemis where you have to steal cheese from an altar that is on. So everyone puts cheeses on the altar, and then there is a line of men with whips. And you, the boy, has to run from one end to the altar through the whip people, the whip gauntlet, basically. Steal a piece of cheese and then run back.
That sounds... I mean, obviously, I understand that ancient Greece predates this, but that sounds like something from Klingon culture.
Yeah.
Like the pain stick rituals.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very much like Klingon culture. A lot of Klingon, actually, culture.
Which makes sense,
feels
given
very
the
Spartan.
theme.
It's kind of cool.
Huh. Alright. Should we... Oh, wait.
Star Trek.
I want to address this question. What if... So the goal is to be sneaky.
Yeah.
You sneak out, have sex with your wife. What if you don't know that there's someone else being even sneakier?
So the bride probably...
Especially
like,
if no
her
one knows who's
family-
married.
Like, the bride and her family would kind of be like...
That's probably true. Yeah.
So the bride actually cuts... Here we go. There is a... When you are
I'm very nervous about where that
betrothed-
sentence is
yeah,
going.
it's not good. When you are betrothed as a Spartan woman, you
Sure.
cut your hair.
Oh, okay.
Very short.
Was very worried about what
You
was getting
basically become masculinized
cut. Okay.
because, well, there's two reasons.
Yeah.
One, you now stand out in society as, oh, someone's married to you.
And
We
you're
don't
not
know
allowed to
who.
know who.
You don't know who, but
Weird.
someone's married to you now.
Okay.
Additionally, okay, so these boys are being taken away at the age of 7, and they're
Yeah.
living with other boys for a really long time.
Sure.
So your first sexual experiences is going to be with
Another
boys.
male.
Yeah. So you make the bride look like a boy so
Ah.
that it's not so weird.
Yeah. Huh.
So it's a masculinization of the bride in ancient Sparta.
Would never have known that fact without...
I don't think they're going to get into it.
I can't imagine that this game dives into that
think they're
particular
gonna get
aspect,
into it.
but like, huh.
It's really fascinating, honestly.
Yeah.
So, and wife swapping was a thing that
Mm-hmm.
you could do. You did have to have the wife's permission.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, at least there's that. But you also have the husband's permission. So it's not like the wife could go off and, do whatever she wanted to do. But-
Right.
Yay! Sex in ancient Greece.
Oh, we're starting.
Yeah.
Because I hit the wrong button.
No, it's fine.
Welcome,
But I had
visitor,
questions.
to where Spartan boys
Learn to
become
become
Spartan
men. By making their women look like men.
Well, so
What do you think of this place?
it's where Spartan boys become Spartan men and Spartan women become Spartan men-ish.
Yes. I think my camera is falling. Yep.
No, I think it was roughly the same angle as before. Although, now my head is totally in the picture.
There we go.
Alright. What
Yeah,
do we
it
think
was
of this
falling.
place?
I can't help.
This is what
but
happens
be
when you
reminded
duct tape
of
stuff.
The boy I used to be. I wonder what that boy would think if he saw me today. Would he be proud? Intimidated? Or would he pity the tired old man
Wow.
standing in front of him?
That did not
But
tell me
such thoughts
anything
are
about what you think of this place.
Let us move on.
Why?
So, thanks, Leonidas.
Why do they only answer what do you think of this place like 25% of the time?
Leonidas is, granted, he dies. So, they're probably going to start with the whole, babies when they're born
Oh, yeah, where they get rid
are
of-
inspected.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they have any blemishes on them or if they're deformed in any way.
Any
it's wor-
blemishes? Oh my god.
Well, it can't move your arm.
Oh.
It's like,
I thought you meant like,
that
that
kid's
one's got a
gonna be a
birthmark.
waste on society.
Okay.
Disability was considered a failure of society, and so it's like, oh, try again. But this is why they would not. So girls in ancient Greece wouldn't actually, in Sparta, wouldn't get married until they're 18 to 20.
Oh, yeah. We talked
Unlike
about this
in
before.
Athens when they marry much younger. And that's because they're stronger. They're able to give birth to more successfully to.
Yeah, I remember
stronger
we talked
kids
about
and
this
stuff.
for some reason before.
Yeah, I can't remember which one. But yeah.
I'm gonna begin the tour.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Agogi was Sparta's strict education
Agoge.
system. This strenuous regimen took in the young boys and then reshaped them until nothing was left but the strength, intelligence, and resolve of a perfect Spartan citizen.
Basically
I will find you
bullying.
once your visit has ended.
And
we will talk
hazing.
further.
Yeah.
Until then, visitor.
So really, like, you could think of fraternities kind of as like the
I was
go-go
debating if I
system.
wanted to make that comparison.
Yeah, no, we can.
But having been in a fraternity, I feel like
Yeah.
no, there was some hazing, but
It's the whole, like, weed out the weak kind of thing, and so...
ours
You
was
know.
weed out the not nerdy or funny enough.
I like your fraternity much more than the other ones.
I mean, like, just to share a small fact about myself, when I went to college, I was, like, determined. Like, I was like, fraternities are dumb, I'm not going to join one,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I went to my eventual fraternity. A friend of mine was like, oh, they're having this trivia night. You should come along. And I was like, okay, like, I like trivia, that's fine. And it was part of it, one whole category was, can you listen to, I think it was like 5 or 10 seconds
Of a
of
song?
NES theme song, like video game songs, and can you name which video game it's from?
Nice.
And I earned a bunch of points because I got Excite Bike
And then
correct.
they were like, please join our...
No, they actually
fraternity."
didn't even really notice me, but I was like, okay, those guys are cool. I could live with them.
Oh,
That's
that's
fine.
cool.
And I also hated the dorm I lived in my freshman year.
Oh,
and they,
sure.
so at the college I went to, all the fraternities were on like the hill, like there
Mm-hmm.
was Fraternity Hill, and this was the only one that was like 4 blocks off campus.
Oh, nice.
They weren't big into partying.
Oh, good.
Like we had like 3 parties a semester,
Yeah.
but they were all the goofiest parties we could come up with. Like we had a beach theme party. We were shipping like 6 tons of sand into our basement.
Oh my god.
Um,
How would you get the sand out?
A lot of cleaning.
Oh my god.
And like we just tried to keep coming up with goofier and goofier themes for parties. They were not ever super well attended, but the people who hung out at our house like all thought we
Yeah.
were also nerdy and stuff. So it was fun. It worked out.
We had a
I've heard it's
nerdier
changed a lot
one.
since I left.
Which one was yours?
Not
Can I
for
ask?
good. Kai-Fi.
Kai-Fi, okay. Our the one with all the fun guys that was like, yeah, the computer video game nerd guys
Yeah.
was Phi Kappa Tau.
We didn't have that one.
Yeah, they were good.
But also, this was back in like
They were good guys.
mid 2000s when I was in college, and so Halo 2 had just recently come out, and we would have like 16-person LAN party Halo games in
Oh my
different rooms.
God.
It was super cool.
Oh man. Yeah, I used to have Age of Empires LAN parties. That was fun.
Someday we'll finish
Nice.
that Civ 5 game that you, me, Keith, and Jason started like
Oh,
3 years
God.
ago.
Was it oh,
No, I don't know, but it was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
All right. But speaking
Let's
of
do
Greek
Sparta.
fraternities, let's learn about being trained to be fighters.
Enough.
Sparta was a Greek city located
Oh, we switched
in the
narrators.
Peloponnese. It differed from other cities of the time in that it had no walls. Sparta originated
That we
as
know
4
of.
neighboring villages: Patane, Limnes, Nazoa, and Cynosura,
Oh, I
all of
actually
which
don't know
shared the
this.
same political, military, and religious life.
I didn't know that.
After 2 wars with the Messenians, the city's territory expanded even further.
'Cause they
By
enslaved
fifth
the entire area.
century BCE, they allegedly controlled almost half of the Peloponnese.
And enslaved everyone. But, you know.
So those would all be helots then?
Yeah, so Sparta, like,
That didn't really have anything to do with Spartan education.
no, it really didn't. I'm not really sure what they're doing there. But, the guy that, like, founded basically the way that Sparta became, is a legendary figure, named Lycurgus. Lycurgus? Yeah.
Legendary in the sense that like
We're
we don't
not
know
really
that he's
sure,
real.
like, if he existed.
Okay, that's
or
what I
not.
thought you meant. I just wanted to confirm.
So, but he comes in and he reforms Sparta in 3 ways: politically, socially, economically. I think. Economically, he basically says like, okay, Sparta,
Is he the one that gets rid of
upper
money?
classes, you guys aren't
Oh.
doing any like crafts. Those
Oh.
are for helots and for, like the perioikoi.
Huh.
You aren't doing crafts. You're focusing just on military. That's all you're ever going to do. All your sons will become soldiers. You are soldiers. Everyone's soldiers. Socially, the changes were the education system, mostly. And so, the boys are going to join this. Girls also went through their
Join.
own version of it, but they never, like, left the home, really.
Oh.
Like, in that...
Did they have a
didn't s-
group?
They did have a group,
Okay.
and they would go and they would learn things. And there's debates as to whether or not writing was one of those things that they might learn.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of cool. But the girls would then spend the night in their homes.
Okay,
in their
not-
parents' homes.
but the boys are staying with
the
their
boys
group.
are staying in, like, a group
Okay.
in, like, yeah. And so at certain ages, different things are taken away from the boys or given to the boys, depending on what.
Like-
But, like, at the age of, I think, 12, they are only allowed to have, like, a chiton, a light robe.
Oh, sure.
And that's it. So, and it's winter, and they've got to find, you know, something. And so, like, killing an animal for its pelt would be a good thing, but you have to go off and kill an animal. And,
Right.
you need a bed, right? So you have to go out and get reeds, and you have to basically, like, fend for yourself. And so you were given very little food and encouraged to steal,
Right.
so that, you know.
Is there, like, any recordings about the failure rate of this education system in terms of, like, kids just dying? I mean, I'm sure some did, but, like...
Yeah, they did, but I don't think we have, like, numbers. It's
Okay.
kind of like the mysterious... Because Sparta is a very much closed society.
Oh, right, because, yeah, they didn't like being involved
Yeah,
with
so, like,
stuff.
writing and stuff was only for, like, government purposes.
Mhm.
They weren't really composing poetry or anything by the 5th century.
Right.
We do know in the 7th and 6th centuries there were Spartan poets.
Oh.
But then at some point they're like, no, we don't do that stuff anymore. Yeah.
All right, let's see if this one's actually about the Spartan education system.
Maybe.
The Agoge was the military training and education program undergone by Sparta's male youth. Grooming men for war was one of the city's main priorities. Boys began their training at the young age of 7 and completed it when they were 30. It has been said that Spartan infants were inspected for weakness shortly after birth. If they were deemed too sickly, they were thrown into chasms. However, this information remains unproven. The healthy
how would you
boys
prove
were
it?
considered
Yeah.
suitable for training. When they came of age, they were removed from their families and were placed into service of the state. Their education included subjects like reading, writing, and even music, but was mostly focused on tough military exercises.
Music
meant
is
to turn the
necessary for
boys
marching.
into efficient soldiers. The Agoge was divided
have a
into
question about
3
that, but-
cycles. One for boys aged 7 to 12, one for adolescents aged 12 to 20, and one for men aged 20 to 30. Each cycle included different exercises for refining the body and mind.
So music is necessary for keeping rhythm when you're marching.
Okay, my main question was, I couldn't tell if you were being sarcastic or
No.
not. Huh.
No. We have images of hoplite soldiers marching in a row on face paintings, and behind them is like a flute player.
Yeah, and I know that, like, that's been common for lots of militaries.
Yeah, it
but,
had, like,
like,
the
I just didn't know
trumpet
if you
and
meant,
drums
like,
and
literally
stuff.
they had it.
No, that was the main focus, was like, okay, this is for military purposes. Like to keep... Yeah. Yeah. So all this, like, giant statue stuff,
Wait, like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's not...
I feel like that's a common theme when we visit places.
Yeah, but especially not in Sparta. Like, the problem with Sparta, and archaeology in Sparta today, is we don't have a lot of stuff from Sparta.
Oh, because they just didn't build all this.
Either
like,
because they didn't build it, but also another problem is that the city of Sparta, the modern city of Sparta, is, like, on top of the ancient city of Sparta.
Right.
And so, like, what's nice about Athens is that, you know, we have this area that's archaeologically, like, the Agora. They tore
Right.
down all the modern houses so that they could excavate there.
Okay.
And so it's nice, but it's not nice at the same time, right?
Well, I was going to say, I thought you were about to say that Athens hadn't been built over at all, and I'm like, that
No,
doesn't sound
it
reasonable.
definitely was. But, like, the Agora used to have houses on it, and the American school basically bought the property and told people to get out, and
Huh.
yeah.
I mean, it sucks for those people, but that's kind of cool for history.
cool for
/
archaeology.
Wait a second, is that true?
What? Chanting
During running, does that really... I get the keep rhythm. Does that really
Oh, I
enhance
think-
lung capacity?
I think, like, it helps you breathe at a certain, like, speed, maybe? And so... Plus, then you have to talk and run at the same time.
Yeah, but that feels like the talking part should actually, like, hurt running.
Well,
like,
but I mean, like, you're
with
exercising.
no evidence.
With that, but you're exercising, so
I
you're
guess.
building up those.
Huh.
You're not talking while you're fighting.
Right,
You're
right.
talking while you're exercising.
I'm just, like, from my very, very singular experience running, that feels like that doesn't make sense to me. But I've never tried it, so I could be wrong. I do know that, like, when I, like, count breaths, I do better at running, so I get the rhythm, but, man. Alright, I'm gonna go for a run by myself later, and I'm just gonna chant the entire way, so anyone I pass will be freaked out, and I'm gonna see if it makes me better at running.
That's awesome. I'm gonna tape this up again.
Oh, we'll just slowly be off camera.
No, I don't want to be off camera.
And then the cats can come in and lay on the ground. Huh.
Not that I just have, duct tape chilling out right next to my office space. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's better.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't have any further questions. Let's learn more.
Tomb of Leonidas. That was in Thermopylae. I don't believe they brought back his body.
No?
I think the Persians desecrated it, didn't they?
Well, yeah, because then they tell us that they just built the big lion there for that reason.
Yeah, so I don't know why they got...
Sparta played a
long
large
load
role
time.
in defeating the Persians during the Greco-Persian Wars in the 5th century BCE. They held their king Leonidas' glorious death at the Battle of Thermopylae in particularly high esteem. Because Leonidas was killed in battle, Sparta believed he died a good death and showed incredible bravery. Qualities to be held as a model for all Spartans. This idealized bravery was embedded in the city's collective memory and was the main quality people strove for in the Agoge.
I feel like we're not getting as much information about the Agoge as I was
Yeah,
expecting.
we're really not. I can give you a lot more. I mean, let's see. I really like the whole, stealing cheeses off of the altar one.
Yeah, that was a cool fun fact.
Yeah, just in general. So if you want a really fun game, actually,
I don't think I want to
British
imitate
Museum,
Oh, okay.
who I don't like because they have the Athenian marbles. But
that
the
came
British
up in
Museum's
chat a while
website
back.
has an old Flash game where you can act like, where you basically do all these mini games to get into a dining group.
Oh.
And so you're one of the first ones is stealing eggs, and if you get caught, then you lose points and stuff. And if you do well enough, you'll get put into a Sycidia, a dining hall group.
Mm-hmm.
If you do really well, you get into the best one, and I've never been able to be put in the best one. I can get into a regular Agoge, but...
Wow.
And they have you do all these other mini games too. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to say, I thought someone mentioned a game about getting into an Agoge
so fun.
higher up in the chat.
It's actually really fun.
Huh.
So yeah, go to the British Museum's website, look for
Oh, it's a Flash game, too.
Oh, it's a Flash game, yeah, which is really funny because then Chrome tells you,
Yeah, because Chrome
FYI,
doesn't...
we're not going to run Flash in December
I was going to say, it's
anymore.
coming up soon.
Which I'm like, really? Because I feel like they can't do that.
So many issues
So many
with
things
Flash,
are going to
though.
break.
Yeah, but Flash is terrible.
I know Flash is terrible, but this is a fun game.
Well, then you can go to... Well, actually, I don't know if Microsoft's going to not
It's
support it either.
infuriating. These are my students that have had to play.
Wait, did you make them play it, or did you just tell them about it?
I told them about it, and then they get extra credit if they play it. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Is that it? That's not it. I don't feel like that's it. That's not it. So, hold on. I'm going to find it.
Oh, it just looks like it's... That
What
first
is it?
result is going to that link.
Huh. Is that it?
Probably good you didn't bet money on this.
Oh, yeah, that is it. You're right. I'm sorry, Allison. You're right. Yeah, go to the challenge, and oh my god, allow. We should stream this, actually.
Oh my god.
Do you want to stream this later?
I mean, maybe not today.
Okay.
Because
We'll stream it another time.
I would definitely stream it. You
It's
can watch
so-
me. You
the
can watch me get
sounds-
rejected from an Agoge.
The sounds are so annoying. It's like the sounds alone are just like, oh my god. So yeah, we'll play it.
Okay.
Yes, your throne of righteousness. I love that Hannah played it for 2 hours. That's great.
The first cycle of the Agoge focused on boys aged 7 to 12. Each of the boys had
Yeah,
shaved
once you turn
heads
12,
and
you
wore
get
light
a-
clothing. They walked everywhere barefoot, swam the Erotis River all year long, slept on reeds, and participated in cult rituals for Artemis or Thea.
That's the one with the
boys
cheese.
were grouped into herds, or agoli, and were supervised by older adolescents. Once they reached the age of 12, they entered the second cycle of the agoge, which aimed to integrate them into the society of citizen soldiers.
Cryptea. I think at the age of 12, they could be recruited into the Cryptea, which is where they could kill helots.
Yeah, okay,
During
that's
a
why that word
specific
sounds
time of
familiar.
year.
That's what you must have mentioned them. I know you mentioned them, but you must have said the word for it too.
During a specific time of year. So it had to be like the elders would declare war on the helots so that it was sanctioned
Sure.
murder.
But, okay, so specific time of year in that it was whenever these elders declared, or was there some reason
It's a
for the time of
specific
year?
like ritualistic time of year, like it.
Of course,
So I think
some
it's
sort
like
of ritual.
it's some sort of like time of year where there's a festival or something, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're bored now. We don't have time. Like it's not during harvests and things when you need the slaves around,
Right.
but it's like when they could potentially rebel to keep them in place. Because we do have revolts. We do have slave revolts.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Is, had
many
they actually
times.
done it? Because if not, that seems a little cruel.
Yeah, and they eventually are successful. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come. Here. Daisy, come over here. Come here. Daisy, come.
I'm actually fine with her staying here.
Oh, the puppy. That kid just ate. What did he eat?
Well, I wonder if... Do you mean that literally, or did they fall down?
Come here.
And
Come up.
I didn't see it, so I don't know
come
where to
up.
look for it.
You want to come up? Come here. Come here, puppy. Come here. There you are.
The agoge's second cycle included boys aged 12 to 20. When they reached the age of 20, the young men were dubbed Erinyes and could officially serve as hoplites in the Spartan army. Until the age of 30, Spartan men lived in communal mess halls called Siskenia. From the age of 22 onward, they were permitted to start a family, but 30 was viewed as a more appropriate age to get married. Spartan men served in the military until they turned 60, when they were designated as elders, or gerontes. However, many were known to continue serving anyway, such as King Archimedes III, who fought in the army until he was killed in battle at the age of 62.
Yeah, so if you were a member of the Eupontinid or Argaid family,
Sure.
you...
Is that... are
Those were
like-
the two royal families. So there are two kings of Sparta.
Yeah, that's what I was going to check on.
And one from each one. So if you were like in line to be king at some point, you would not participate in the Agoge system
Right.
because it was too risky and they didn't
Yeah.
want to like lose you. But everyone else, go ahead. Leonidas, however, did serve in the Agoge system.
Really?
He was not expected to take over as king.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was like third or fourth in line or something.
Huh.
And so he actually went through the whole system.
Wow.
He's one of the few kings that actually did. Which is kind of cool.
Early on in this, I was considering commenting on how... Not excessive, but how incredible? Some adjective that I can't think of right now. It is that these kids, for 23 years, went through this training. Then I realized I started school at the age of 5.
You're still in grad
And I'm
school.
still in grad school. So,
Yeah, and I'm never leaving school,
and
hopefully.
I'm never going to be in as good of shape as Spartans would have been. So my training has failed me.
You're fine. One thing that the Spartans were big on, are those people just lying there? Wait,
What?
look left. Further left. They're just...
Oh, right here.
Why? Why? Oh,
It's weird enough that they're moving in unison, though, so we're going to move on.
what is going on?
I don't know. But what were you about to say?
The Spartans, they did not like wealth. Or
Right,
at
yeah,
least
because they didn't like
want-
money, right?
Yeah, so they didn't like. Sorry, the cat. The dog is yawning. The cats are sneezing. I don't know what's going on. So wealth in general was to be like frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my favorite like lines or quotes or sayings is after the Battle of Plataea versus the Spartan or versus the Persians.
Yeah.
The Spartans are there. Sorry, my green screen's gonna fall. Callie is playing with it. All right.
I feel very nervous.
What was I talking about? Oh, okay. So during the war, so the Battle of Plataea happens. Greeks are successful.
Yeah.
The Spartan leader goes in to the Persian camp that has been abandoned.
Sure.
And they left some slaves. And so he orders their slaves to make a meal fit for their Persian leaders.
Okay.
And then he orders the Helots to make a Spartan meal.
Okay.
Right? And he then calls all of the generals in, all the Greek generals in, and he's like, look, I want you to see these Persians, look at their wealth, because the slaves make this very elaborate meal. It's got a lot of, like, gold vessels, and everything's very fancy and elaborate.
Sure.
And then the Spartan meal is just like porridge.
Okay.
And that's it. And so he's
Confused
like,
what
look
his
at
goal
this.
is here.
These Persians who have everything came in here to Greece to take us and to take what we have, which is nothing. And we, having nothing, defeated them who have everything.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Yeah.
I was like,
Sorry,
as you were
there was
going,
a
I was
point.
just
There
like,
was a
why
point, I
is he
swear.
doing this?
Oh, thanks.
All adult male
yeah.
Spartans participated
We'll
in
talk about it in a minute.
Not
meals
yet.
called Syssitia. The attending
Syssitia.
Spartans
does
contributed
it right.
different kinds of food on a monthly basis, in addition to a small sum of money to pay for meat. Each man was entitled to one portion of a meal, with the exception of the kings, who received 2 portions. Syssitia attendance was mandatory for every Spartan fortunate enough to be part of the group. The meals
voted
had
on.
great political significance. According to Xenophon and Plutarch, the Syssitia was designed to foster a sense of equality between citizens. It also demonstrated the self-restraint and moderation of Spartan society. But in reality, the Syssitia only increased the
Okay,
differentiation
that was gonna be the question I was
between
gonna bring
the
up.
rich and the poor. Those who could not afford to contribute to the communal food not only missed their meals, but also lost their right of citizenship.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could also contribute, like, if you hunted and you killed something, you could
Right.
also contribute that. But in general, like, you donated whatever your farm was coming out with.
Yeah.
Donated.
Right.
And, yeah, you had to be voted into different Syssitia. Syssitia only consisted, I think, of 20.
Yeah, see, that's the
People-
process, aside from the
So it's very
wealth thing.
frat-like.
I was going to say, it
Yeah.
also feels like if you're trying to make the system to make everyone feel like equal, and you vote people into different groups.
Yeah. So based on your performance in the Agoge system, like how well you did, and then also your family line and your family's wealth and your family's abilities.
Could you change? Or were you... Like,
Families or Syssitia?
Syssitia?
No, you're
Okay,
stuck
that's
in
what
that
I figured,
one.
but I
That's the
just
one you're
didn't-
in. So, and there was like the best one.
Right.
And then there was, the worst one and those in between.
Yeah. Getting like a Mean Girls movie vibe from this system.
Very much so. And then there were, you could not be voted into one at all as well.
Do you lose your citizenship then, too,
Yeah.
or no? Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so if you're
It's high
bad
stakes.
enough. Yeah, it's very high stakes. Important.
Other facts before I go to the quiz?
No, I think we're good. Let's do the quiz. Nothing else I really want to talk about.
Your tour has ended.
Oh.
As you have seen, the Erogi was not for the weak or faint of heart, but it did its job.
Well, it was. They just probably
producing
failed.
skilled warriors and shrewd citizens. What else would you like to do?
Quiz.
Yay, quiz.
So you think you are ready for a test? Very well. Let us see how you fare. First, a simple question. The Erogi was made up of how many cycles?
3.
Correct. The Erogi was
Correct.
divided into 3 cycles. One for boys aged 7 to 12, one for adolescents aged 12 to 20, and one for men aged 20 to 30. Next question. How many meal portions were kings entitled to at Syssitia?
2. What? 10? Oh my god.
Yes, Spartan kings had the right to double portions. One final question. When were Spartans allowed to grow mustaches?
Uh-oh.
I don't remember this one, but I'm gonna say 30.
It's got to be one of these two, I think.
I think it's 30.
I'm betting 20 just because if we bet the same thing, it's not
'cause
exciting.
I think 20 is gonna be risky for like fighting battles and wars because it could be.
Yeah, but you stay in the military when you're 30.
You do stay in the military until you're older, but I feel like
We'll say 30, but my
Okay.
bet is 20 in
Okay.
case we're wrong.
maybe it's 60
Well, you'd be out of the
after
military.
the war.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Once
okay.
a Spartan man was over 30, he was allowed to adorn his face with a glorious display of manhood. Impressive, visitor. You should be proud.
I don't know if we should.
Hey.
So-
that response to our answer.
I
is weird.
really want to play this minigame with you.
I mean, that's
Would you
fine.
be up for it?
How? I'm not playing it for 2 hours.
No. We would only play it for like 10 minutes to see like.
Yeah, sure. Can you easily switch your stream to show that though?
Ba-dum-bum-bum, maybe. Let me see how I would do that. Dum-bum-bum. Let me try something. What would I do? So hold on, everyone. Hold on, everyone. I'm doing something.
What program is this actually?
This is. It's with the game capture device.
Oh.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Okay, never mind.
I mean, we can set it up for next week.
Alright, never mind. We're just gonna go back. I could, yeah, because I think we'd have to get out of this and then do something else.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll play it next week though, if
Yeah.
we can figure out how to set it up.
Yeah, maybe we could play this and, well, we could go through that whole thing if we wanted to, really. It's a really fun site, sadly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
We'll
taken
see.
over my life. I will not stop until I get into the best
I
group.
know, right? I've never gotten into the best group. I don't think you can, honestly. I think it does not exist. I think it's all a lie. Like we were playing that one
No,
game
I refuse to accept. Oh, don't.
yesterday. Yeah, it's addictive, sadly.
Huh.
All right, well, happy birthday,
3
Francis.
tours.
We did 3 tours. I think that's good for now.
Yeah. It's our usual up until the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want an update, on your phone or whatever, whenever I go live, you should hit that follow button right there. Because once I get 50 followers, I can maybe monetize this. So, not that you have to pay to see me then, but maybe someone would actually give me money. So, yeah. So make sure you hit the follow button. Happy birthday to Francis.
Woo!
And we're gonna go eat dinner now.
Yay, because I'm hungry.